Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft. So, we are now on our brand new, shiny server. Yes. It's with the same host that I had previously, that the old server was, but it's actually a weaker server. It's not as good. It's about half the power of the old server, but honestly, we were using like 10% of the old server. So this one's costing half as much. So I'm good with it. So far, it's run great. The biggest change is actually not something that we will probably ever witness whilst playing on here. It's because it's running Windows. Yes, Windows. My old server was running Linux. I had Debian on there and loved every second of it. Sadly, there's a lot of games that, well, early access games, pretty much in their entirety, that I want to set up a server for, but they don't have Linux dedicated servers. I could muddle around with things like Wine, and it's not worth it. The abstraction layer there just causes too much delay. And I wouldn't be able to know whether lag was caused by a problem with the server, like the actual hardware, a problem with their software, or an issue with, well, Wine or Mono or whatever. Another server I wanted to set up was kind of thinking about setting up a Sky Nation server. And just really for the fuck of it. Just to say that I've got one. That's pretty much the entire point of it. And it runs on Mono just fine, supposedly. But for some reason, I cannot get it to actually work on that server. And I think it has to do with Debian. Because if you're familiar with Debian, Debian is generally a little bit behind in the times. It's not really the most up-to-date distribution when it comes to the software that's on it. Not what I wanted to do. Fucking doors. So far, this has been running great. It is definitely way outside of my comfort zone running a Windows server. Yeah, I've got everything I need. It is very, very outside of my comfort zone. I am so used to running Linux-based servers and doing the scripting on Linux-based servers and everything on Linux-based servers that I sat here trying to figure out for about a day, how the hell am I going to just run the automated backups? And it's like, the hell? Because on Linux, any Linux distribution, you can use a program called Screen, which that essentially takes over the terminal that the program is using. It acts as a virtual terminal, and you can disconnect it, and you can, well, you use that as your interface. And you can script an interface to it simply by running Screen with the screen name and everything to access the screen, and tell it to send a certain command in. This actually allows you to run certain console programs. What am I doing them? Torches. Allows you to run certain console programs automated, with that, like, generally it'd be ones that require terminal access. They will always have an output. And Minecraft servers, they always have that output. So I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? How? And upon looking up some more information, I realized Minecraft supports Archon. I had totally forgot that Minecraft supported Archon, which if you're not familiar with Archon, it literally is a remote console. Yes, that's all there is to it. So I'm trying now to write a program, just a little program that will directly connect with the Archon. And everything that I did, I was trying to write it in Java just for speed's sake. Everything I did would just time out. Didn't matter what the hell I was doing. Just a basic connection would time out. It would connect, and I would see a connection on the console. Hello. Screw you, man. But whenever I tried to execute the command would time out. So I'm just like, Argh! And before you say, well, maybe there's something wrong with your connection, maybe you had a firewall up that was blocking it. No, because other Archon systems would actually work just fine. Hey, thanks for the launch. Get. Come on. Stupid spider. I need to get the hell out of Dodge here. Wow, that spider took me down. Woo. Oh, man. I'm still wearing my leather armor, too. Oh, crap. Alright, let's just make it day. And jump. I love that bug. Ugh, they need to fix that. Totally need to fix that. So all in all, I'm actually really happy with this. And now I can actually have some of the newer servers up, which will be great. Potential Space Engineers server. Hooray! Anyway, and the update for the shitty server host. What? Shouldn't you have fallen down? Stupid block. Not doing what you're supposed to do. Let's see here. Well, they are not doing anything. As far as I can tell, they have not done anything in the past couple days to even remotely try to rectify this. I have requested a refund and it has been ignored. Finally said, hey, give me a refund or I'm going to do a chargeback. I got a response. It wasn't a very good response, but, you know, it's a response. So there's only so much you can do. I'm not actually going to do a chargeback. It's not worth the headache because they can dispute it and all that bullshit. And it's through PayPal, and PayPal is not really known to be useful. Let's go with useful. And it's only $10, and really it's not worth my time. So, but I am going to heavily recommend that nobody ever use NFO hosts or NFO and nuclear fallout server hosting thing. What the fuck am I looking for? I'm looking for dirt. I need dirt. They have not been very good at all. And the fact is, they lie. They have a feature, I guess, when you order your servers. They have this wonderful feature that if you pay an extra $10 a month, you can be put into a high CPU priority. Sounds great. You know, you'll have extra oomph, I guess, on your server when the server's under load. I'll give them this. They do keep their servers very much underloaded. I think I mentioned it in my last video where their server load was like 32%, which is really low. But that really doesn't help when, you know, your server doesn't friggin' work. But yeah, the CEO that I've been talking to has mentioned to me that they use the Linux nice value, which apparently, according to him, does nothing. So you're charging an extra $10 a month to have people get a high priority, a high CPU priority, and you're saying that it doesn't do anything. I don't know. That actually screams of fraud. I'm just saying. I don't know. He seems to think that they're the most honest host. But what's even better about that is... I should grab a whole bunch and just fill in that whole puddle. I don't particularly have any use for it. I totally lost what I was saying. Whatever. Fuck NFO hosts. Just don't waste your time with them. At least not for the Minecraft server. I've heard a lot of people saying really good things about them for things like Counter-Strike servers. They've been doing it for years. I think they're in the decades. And most of you know that I love the word decade. I like to use it a lot whenever I can. Anyway, so maybe it's just they can't possibly run a Minecraft server properly. I don't know. But it really was one of the worst performing servers I've had. Like, of the three I've had... There's three that I can remember. I think I've had four, but there's three main ones I can remember. I've been with MC Pro Hosting, which I don't recommend. I've been with Cubed Host, which I do recommend. They were very, very nice to me. That one... I had one of the lower end. It should have been able to do what I wanted it to do, but it couldn't. I was running an FTB. We were very, very heavy on it. That's when we switched to the server we had just before this one, and it was using an entire CPU to itself. It was using 100% of one CPU, or one core. So technically 1/4 of the actual processing power of the server. So I can't really fault CubeHost for that. They probably didn't anticipate someone using that much power on kind of a basic plan. Like, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like a 2 gig plan. And I ended up having to bump the server up to... I think I had it at 8 gigs at one point. So it just couldn't handle it. But their support was great. They actually told me what they were doing. They were very responsive, very, very nice. But ultimately, there was nothing they could do. So I ended up leaving them for my own self-hosting. MC Pro Hosting, I paid for a... Jesus. Oh, no, I did have another one. Still not going to be enough, but I ended up paying for an entire year. And after kind of fighting with them for 6 months because the server was very intermittently laggy. Like, it would... Yeah, knew that wouldn't be enough. It would lag out and then run fine, and lag out and run fine. And this, again, was a vanilla server. And also, it was hard to tell at this point anyway, whether it was my connection, or I guess all of our connections, or them. Chances are it was them, but their support was not very helpful, and they were kind of rude, and just didn't really want to do anything to help me out. So when I canceled, I canceled, you know, like 6 months in or so, and Yeah, I got nothing back. So essentially they stole 6 months of money. When I canceled, they literally deleted my account. So I couldn't log in and see, you know, payments or anything. Like, I was effectively gone. Like, I did not exist. Did not like that. That is like the shadiest of shady business practices. So MC Pro hosting is on the shit list with me. NFO host is on the shit list with me. Like, I have to say NFO has been very nice, but ultimately useless. They have really not been willing to do anything aside from point the finger at me and my internet connection or my world or something. Something that involves me. And I know I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it's not a good not good to treat your paying customers like that. But whatever. Only thing I can do right now is heavily advise against anyone ever using them. That's pretty much it. So I think I am done bitching about that. The server that they are currently hosting, it's going to be up. I've canceled it, but it's going to be up until I think the 8th of next month. I can't remember exactly, but I am so very, very done with dealing with them. And by all means, go on there, ravage it, do whatever you want, and you won't see me on it. I know one person tried to connect to it since my last video and commented at how laggy it was. I think he said it took like 30 seconds to register the hit on a pig. That's just fucking stupid. I don't think I've ever had that, even with my internet lagging like a bloody... I don't have an analogy. I was going to say pig in heat, but that didn't make any sense, so yeah. Anyway, that is kind of where we're sitting now. Got a new shiny server. I have a good connection to it. Not that you can really trust the server log there. It's not the most reliable when it comes to your connection. But I'm happy. I'm happy. I tweeted out who I'm with, and I will say it here. The host that I am currently with, that I have my dedicated server with, is Yes Up Hosting. They're based out of Toronto. And these guys, aside from a few quirks with their support, which honestly they're just minor, and they're more personal preference issues that I have had no problem. Like with this server, their interface is a little weird. When you order a server, you order the server, it then goes into a holding pattern type thing, where you then have to pay for the server. You go through and you register, like you set up your billing account, whatever it is. So for me, it's PayPal. You put in the money, and it's kind of a deposit. It's not really a payment. Damn you. Oh well. Not too bad. Anyway. And then it still sits at build. It doesn't apply it directly to the server. You have to go and pay now and use the money that you've deposited in your account. So I was confused at that. I was like, it's been years since the last time I ordered a server from these guys. And actually, the last time I ordered a server, I did it over the phone. So they actually did most of the work for me. And yeah, I was like, what the hell? So I emailed their sales team. Right. Hold on. Why the hell weren't you picking that up? I had a free slot. Okay. I don't have a free slot anymore. Screw that, man. I don't need no stinking rotten flesh. So they emailed me back like 5 minutes later. It had to be no more than 5 minutes later, saying, oh, yeah, you just have to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I did that, and they started doing my server. They were supposed to charge me for installing Windows on it, and they didn't. So, like, I'm using my own Windows license on it, which is something that I never expected a host to do. Ever. But I'm using my own Windows license. Good old Windows Server 2008. Yay. And yeah, so they were supposed to charge me like $30 just to install it, because it's not their standard software. It's a special request. But they didn't charge me. They charged me for the server, but they didn't charge me for installation of the software. It took them a lot longer than I expected or was familiar with. Douglas fir. And I'm attributing that to the fact that I requested a non-standard server. Like a non-standard software install. So they installed all that. They installed all the drivers and everything, but they didn't activate it. And this is kind of their policy on that. Is this? No. What was this? Sequoia. Excellent. So it's kind of their policy to not activate. And I can understand that because it's not their key. This is Oak, right? Oak. Professor Oak. So yeah, I'll totally accept that. All I needed to do was log in through the remote desktop connection and add in my key, activate my key, and it was all good. So I'm always really happy with what they do, and they do it really quick. Like, despite the fact that I think that they took longer than they normally do, it doesn't mean that they took long at all. It took them a few hours. And if any of you have ever installed Windows, it can take a few hours. So, anyway, that is all I'm going to ramble on about right now. Really happy with who I'm with. I'm probably going to stick with them for a while. And yeah, hopefully we don't have any problems with the new weaker server. But so far, I have all of our Minecraft servers running. I don't have any of the others running. The Minecraft ones were the more important ones. But as things sit now, it's running good. We're all happy. Almost running better than the old one. But I think that's because I had so much shit going on the old one. And yeah, anyway, I think I've said yeah anyway like 10 times now. I think that's, oh no, that's half. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to go and, whoa, oh, that hasn't changed. Hi. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, or add me to your Google Plus circles. I also have a Patreon campaign going on. Feel free to support me on there if you so desire.